Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. My name is Antoine Baillargeon, and I'm the program coordinator here at the Ottawa branch. I would like to begin by recognizing that the Ottawa branch is located on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation, and we extend our respect to all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people for their valuable past, present, and future contributions to this land and our country. On behalf of the branch, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's webinar, which is titled How to Stay Active and Sane During the Busy Holiday Season. We're joined as always by Meg Stickl, owner of local business Aim Fitness and older adults fitness specialist. Thank you for being with us on this snowy morning, Meg. I want to give a special welcome to anyone here who is not yet a member of the association. We hope that these webinars will inspire you to join us. And to our existing members, we hope that these webinars will encourage you to maintain your membership. I also want to encourage you to help us grow by participating in our annual mega recruitment drive. So if you recruit a new member, that'll enter you in a draw to win some amazing prizes, including 2 grand prizes of $10,000 of a $10,000 travel voucher and $5,000 cash each. And that's courtesy of Colette and Bel Air Direct. You can also give the gift of membership to a fellow federal retiree this holiday season, and that'll enter you for a mega recruitment drive as well. And we'll make sure to give you all the details on that contest in our follow-up email. Finally, if you have any questions for Meg throughout the session, please type them in the Q&A box or in the chat box, and she'll be able to answer them at the end of the presentation. That's it for me, so I'll pass it over to Meg. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Antoine, and good to have all of you join us today. Thank you for being here. All right, so we're going to dive right in. So we're going to start our presentation today with a PowerPoint. So I've got some really helpful, hopefully really practical tips for you on how to stay active and sane during the busy holiday season. So a little bit about myself, in case you don't know too much about me, I've been working with adults 50 plus for over 17 years now. I started teaching fitness part-time at a seniors center and teaching aqua fitness. And 11 years ago, I started my company, Aim Fitness. And the goal now, and has always been, is to help older adults to remain active, to remain more independent, and to be able to continue to live the lives that they do. So I do work one-on-one with individuals, and I have a team of personal trainers who work with me. We do in-home personal training. We also do Zoom personal training for those who don't want to get out of their home or have anyone come in. And then we also do lots of group sessions in condos and private apartments. And then we have a whole online offering as well, including exercise videos and a membership where you can follow along with videos that I've put together. More on that a little later. All right, so let's get chatting about our topic of today. So we're talking about Christmas, we're talking about the holidays. What do the holidays look like for you this year? So if you want to type in the chat and let us know, maybe you're having a really busy season, maybe it's stressful, maybe you already have spent more money than you wanted, or you've already committed to going to different parties or get-togethers. There's lots of goodies in your house. I know yesterday I talked to someone who said, oh, Meg, it's just me and my wife living at home. We're in our 70s. But if my wife brings home some baked goods, we end up eating all of them ourselves. So maybe you're in that scenario. Maybe you're already having a lack of sleep. Maybe you're thinking about time with family or friends. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe this is a really quiet season for you. Maybe it's a lonely time. Maybe you've had someone pass away recently, or you've lost someone, or you no longer get together with family or friends. And then also we have the religious and spiritual significance of this season. So maybe this is a time of peace, of reflection, thinking about traditions. Maybe you're passing things on to the next generation. Maybe you're focusing on home cooking or making certain recipes that bring back a lot of memories for you. So let us know if any of these really stand out to you. All right, lots of at-home entertaining this year, Denise shares. All right, awesome, that's great. So it's good to think about what's coming up around the corner. Maybe it's already started for you. And I really like this quote by Winston Churchill. He who fails to plan is planning to fail. And this is such a good quote because quite often, and what we're talking about today is how to stay active and sane at this time. But if we don't have a plan, if we don't put a plan together, it is really easy to allow this time to fly by. But at the end of this year, we often have regrets. We think, oh my goodness, I overate. Oh, I didn't really exercise at all. I feel really bloated. I feel like I didn't put myself first, that it was just all about other people. So it is good to come up with our plan. How can we stay active? How can we continue with our routines that we've built up? So I encourage you to think about creating some new traditions this year. And these are 3 points that I encourage you to write down if you are taking notes, or make an intention to do these things. Number 1 is moving more, moving our bodies. Number 2 is eating with intention so that we don't feel guilty. Number 3 is choosing kindness and grace with ourselves, so that we can feel proud of the things that we have done. So I'm going to dive into each one moving forwards. So number 1, move more. And I like this quote, that moment when you're supposed to be cleaning and you put on music and it turns into a dance party for one. So maybe that's your plan. That's how you're going to stay active, is by listening to fun music, being really creative. So here's some exercise strategies that I'd love to share with you. It's important as we think about exercising that we focus on improving our balance, gait, which is walking, getting our legs moving more instead of just sitting, building up muscle strength, and working on coordination, as that's what can help us prevent falls. And I encourage people to engage in 150 to 200 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every week. And this isn't just my suggestions, but the Canadian Physical Activity Guide does say the same thing. And when you break it down, it is doable. It sounds like a big number when we don't break it down, but this is 30 minutes daily. And the good news is you can even break it down further so that it's 10 minutes at a time. So here's some ideas. Balance training. So standing in front of a counter, holding on and lifting one foot. And see how long you can keep that foot up off the floor. Do that while you're brushing your teeth. Strength training using weights or resistance bands. And we're going to be doing this a little bit later. I've put together an express workout. So to give you an idea on how a really fast workout can still be effective. Chair exercises. So maybe you're spending time in front of your computer or doing some planning. Do some movements as you're sitting. So stretch your back, stretch your neck, do some ankle circles, and really think about moving even if you are sitting. Aqua fitness. I know some people who do this religiously. I chatted with a woman yesterday who said she goes and does aquafit 3 days a week and loves it. So if you're someone who really loves the water, or if you have a hip or knee issue that gives you problems, this is a really gentle place to exercise. Dancing, so putting on your favorite Christmas music, whether you're preparing for guests, doing some vacuuming, dance and move your body as you're doing those things. And then finally, I really encourage people to do sink exercises. So these are exercises you can do right in front of a sink. So instead of just washing your dishes or getting a glass of water, think about doing some squats, some heel raises, some leg lifts, bend over from your waist to stretch your back, do some twists. And making this a routine can be so helpful because we all spend lots of time in front of the sink. So think about doing 3 or 4 exercises while you're there. So I wanted to include this because this is kind of fun. Sometimes we don't think about all the things that we do that contribute to burning some calories. So if you spend 26 minutes walking the dog, that's about 100 calories. Shopping for 38 minutes. Mowing the lawn for 20 minutes. Now, we don't really have any lawns to mow, but right now with our dump of snow, but this could be doing some shoveling. A dance party, 20 minutes. Riding a bike, maybe an indoor bike for 23 minutes. Walking upstairs for 11 minutes. 20 minutes of golf, giving a massage for 20 minutes, or even playing tag with your grandkids or with the dog for 20 minutes. So this is kind of fun to see it broken down, because often what we need to do is we need to move our bodies. So these are some creative ways you can do it that are related to things that you might be doing anyway. Another way to exercise is following along with a short video. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my AIM Fitness channel on YouTube. I have over 500 exercise videos, and just yesterday I released a new video focused on the holidays, how to stay active during the holidays. And you can find videos like this for upper body strength with weights, easy morning stretches. And what you'll love about my videos is they are really short. So they're between 5 to 15 minutes. So really easy to fit into your day. It doesn't have to be hours and hours that you spend exercising, but just a little bit makes a big difference. And I included this quote because I like this one as well. Never focus on what you can't do, only imagine everything you could. Quite often we do focus on our limitations. So maybe that's a physical limitation for you. Maybe your shoulder is bothering you, or you have some bad arthritis in your knee, so going up and down stairs is more difficult. But as much as these things can hold us back, focus on the other things that you can do. So maybe you can do some seated exercises for your back, and that really gives you some relief. Or maybe you have a neighbor that you can go for a walk with, or meet at a mall and do some indoor walking, and that really lifts their spirits, and it's something that you can do with them. So when we start to think about this in a different way, what can we do? It really empowers us. All right, so we're going to move from movement to eating. And I love this picture with all the vegetables, lots of things that we can indulge in that our bodies are happy for. And I say eating with intention because it's so easy at this time of year to snack and focus on what's in the house or what we end up bringing in the house. And we know there's lots of goodies, there's lots available at this time of year especially. All right, so my first tip for you is to avoid the fridge or cupboards when you are bored, when you are feeling emotional, or when you're watching your favorite holiday movie. So these are all times, I'd say these 3 times are pretty key for most people when we tend to go and get a snack. And most often, the snacks we choose are quick and convenient. So they tend to be things like chips, chocolate bars, cookies, home baking, or whatever you find that's something that's given to you, lots of gifts as well. So we want to be aware and be mindful of what you are reaching for. This is part of being intentional. So instead, keep your hands busy. Quite often we reach for these snacks because we just want to do something with our hands. So here's some other ideas for you if you know you're not hungry, but you just tend to be a snacker. So the first thing you can do is fold laundry. A few years ago, I started getting into this habit. When I was folding laundry, I would watch my show. And that was the only time I would watch my show and sit down and do that. So that was it's now become a thing for me. So my husband will say, oh, okay, Meg, time to fold some laundry. And I'll say, perfect. I get to watch my shows. And right now it's Christmas movies. Knitting or crocheting. I know a lot of people are really creative. So whether you're working on a Christmas gift or just something for yourself, this is a really good thing to do while you're sitting in front of a screen. Making or writing Christmas cards. Again, something you can easily do to keep your hands busy. Doing Christmas wrapping, or even doing some coloring in an adult coloring book. That can be really relaxing, especially if you know you have a busy season coming up. Whittling wood, maybe that's more your thing, or exercise. And I really do encourage people to exercise when they're in front of a TV. And you can make it really fun. If you're watching a Christmas movie, every time they mention the word Christmas or holiday, or Santa, you can get up and then sit back down, do a squat, or do a few exercises standing until they say that word again. So you can really make it fun and really think about doing things with your hands instead of turning to snacks. And then let's be realistic, we do need to eat, but often it is choosing healthy options. So here are some pictures of some snacks that I would really recommend. So you can get out your apples, cut them. Now this is super fancy, so these are also some fun ideas if you are hosting. So I know a lot of people are looking for healthier options these days, but putting some peanut butter, maybe drizzling some chocolate on your fruits, even your celery, it's a really good way to get some protein to make sure that your blood sugar stays level. And then I love hummus. I don't know if anyone else loves hummus, but this picture here has some peppers with hummus. Looks like there's some feta cheese and maybe a small tomato on as well. So it's really fun to get creative if you are looking for just simple snacks for yourself, or if you are hosting, like I said. And then I think the key here is to prepare things in advance because we are busy. So I always make sure I have a protein bar in my purse, especially when I'm shopping. And I always make sure to have my water bottle with me. And recently I've also added an apple because I know I get hungry often. And the easiest thing to do is when you're out is just to pick up a burger or get some fries or just something really quick. But often those things don't actually give us energy. And especially fatty foods, they're not going to satisfy you fully. And especially if you have digestion issues or any allergies, it's really good to be prepared with your own snacks on hand. All right, and then some more tips on being mindful as we eat. The first tip is to enjoy each bite. Sometimes, especially when we're watching a TV show, we can be distracted and we can eat a lot faster than we normally do or normally should. So enjoy each bite, notice the flavors, enjoy each taste, and enjoy how the food tastes. So maybe you do have a meal that you've spent time to make. Really take time to notice each different individual taste of food. And then this tip will really help slow you down. So drink more water, and between every 5 bites, have a sip of water. Water will actually fill us up. So if you are someone who tends to overeat, then this can really help you slow down. And enjoy the company that you're with. So if you are with family, if you are at a potluck or with colleagues or people that you know and love, spend time being present. Enjoy the conversation, talk to them, enjoy the food, but really focus on being present. Now, I wanted to include this because this is really interesting. An average Christmas dinner contains 5,200 calories. That's a lot. That's a lot of calories. And it's recommended for active men to have between 2,500 calories per day, and active women should be having around 2,000 calories on a daily basis. So if you look at that number, that's over 2 times the amount. Now, this gives you an idea of how many calories are in what we eat. So 3 slices of turkey, that's about 200 calories. 2 balls of stuffing is over 100. Roast potatoes, 200 calories. Gravy, 79. Cranberry sauce is 86. So you'll see the calories add up. And it's not just about the calories, but it's also about watching what we eat, because often when we overeat, we don't feel good. Sure, many of you have noticed that before, whether it's a Christmas dinner or a potluck or something else. So it is really good to pace ourselves. And one tip that I really like to do, and I encourage people to do, is to take a plate, but take not your large dinner plate, take a smaller plate and fill up that plate instead. And it's funny that our eye will really feel like we're eating enough, even on a smaller plate. So we tend to pile on more food on a larger one. So focus on those smaller plates. And if you are hosting, get some smaller plates for your guests as well. They will appreciate it. All right, and then we can also fill up on water before a big meal. I really like to have a water bottle with me at all times. This really reminds me to drink more water. And I know so many people aren't drinking enough, and it can lead to dehydration and dizziness and even falls. So there's a few other reasons why we should. So drinking more water aids in digestion and prevents constipation, especially when we're eating more foods that we normally don't at this time of year. We really need more water to help our digestion. It helps to reduce hunger. So I heard years ago, if you're hungry, drink a glass of water, wait 10 minutes, and then see how you feel. And that is such good advice. And it helps to raise our metabolism. So if you find that you are in a place where it's hard to lose weight, maybe you've been at the same weight for a while and you just feel like you're at this hump, try drinking more water and notice if it makes a difference over time. There's no calories in water. So this is an easy thing to add into what we're doing. And it improves energy levels. Now, I notice when I drink more water, I do have more energy. I don't feel as depleted. And it flushes out toxins and reduces eating consumption. So when we fill up on water, so many benefits. So I do encourage you to write down at least one of these that can help to motivate you to drink more water. On that note, I need a sip. All right, my third tip to stay active and especially sane during the busy holiday season is to choose kindness and grace towards others and then also towards ourselves. All right, so I found this a while back and I really like this two-step technique because quite often we hold ourselves back from kindness, from being kind to ourselves. So one thing that we often will say is, and I hear this a lot, especially related to exercise, is, oh, Meg, I'm not fit. I really struggle with my fitness. I just never think I'm going to improve. So I hear this a lot. And if you're someone who says words like this, I encourage you to rephrase it into the past. So instead, you can say, Meg, I used to be somebody who struggled with my fitness. I used to be someone who was unmotivated. I used to be somebody who didn't like to exercise. When we rephrase it in the past, we allow ourselves to become the type of person who does like to exercise. Because a lot of this is mental. It really is a mental game. And if we keep saying, oh no, I don't like to exercise, I don't like to exercise, we're not going to take the steps to exercise. We're not going to fit it into our day. We're going to always have excuses. So instead, allow those excuses to be in the past. Let's move forward. Number two is a progressive statement. So maybe you're not quite at the place where you say, you know what, I am motivated. Maybe you're not quite motivated, but you can use one of these statements. I am willing to learn how to get motivated. I am willing to learn how to be a good exerciser. I am willing to learn something new. I am willing to learn to be more committed to my health. Or you can focus on the second option. I'm in the process of learning to be strong. I'm in the process of getting more motivated. I'm in the process of sticking with my goals. So I encourage you to write these down. This is really helpful, again, to write things in a way that we can almost trick our brains, I like to say, and allow new opportunities to come our way by focusing on what we can do. And then another focus, talking about kindness. I like this quote, be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can. So I don't know what your situation is like. Maybe you are struggling. Maybe life is a little bit tough right now, or you just know that the holidays are difficult. And being kind with ourselves is so, so important. And I really like this advice. Speak to yourself just like you'd speak to your best friend. So if your best friend was struggling, if they were having a hard day, you wouldn't tell them to get into gear and, oh, get over it. Let's just move forward. You wouldn't belittle their feelings, but you would say, you know what, you're doing the best you can. I'm really proud of all the things that you are doing. So I encourage you to use those words, use the same sentiments towards yourself. Be kind to yourself, especially at this season. And then I do want to add, be kind to others. I know this is a busy season for everyone, and whether you're driving on the roads or you're waiting in line at stores to buy things, there's a lot of impatient people. Trust me, I have seen them already. But the kindest thing we can do is to be polite, sometimes to hold our tongue, and to offer a smile or a kind word if it's appropriate. But just know that there are people who are living in their own worlds as well, and they're struggling. So it is good to have compassion and kindness towards others that will run across. And it's important to celebrate the healthy decisions that we make and focus on what we can do and how you feel, not only how you look. So especially when we are thinking about weight loss, maybe you are struggling with this or this has been a lifelong journey, you want to think about how you feel as you exercise. Does it make you feel more energized? Do you feel like you can breathe a little deeper? Do you feel like it reduces stress? I know for myself, when I exercise with my clients, a lot of them say, oh, Meg, I wasn't feeling 100% when you first started the class. And now I feel so much better. I just feel like a lot is off my shoulders. I feel like I've let go of a lot, and I didn't even realize the difference until now. So it's really important to notice how we're feeling and then to celebrate and say, hey, you know what? I moved for 10 minutes today. I'm proud of myself. All right, so we're going to move to our exercise portion. So I'm going to ask Antoine to stop the screen share, and I'm going to be leading you through a few exercises that we can do for an express workout. So if you don't yet, please put on your running shoes. We're going to be moving, and I encourage you to stand up right behind your chair. And we are going to be using weights in a little bit for our workout. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I encourage you to keep that chair close. We're going to start with our warm up. And also something to watch is your weights. My weights are right here on the floor, which is fine, but just make sure they're moved off to the side so you have a bit of extra space. All right, so we're going to start by circling those shoulders backwards, stepping side to side. All right, so I encourage you to join me and work at your own pace today. Do what you can. I'm going to give some options as we go. But I want you to think about how easy it is to move. How easy it is to move. And we're going to be doing about 15 minutes of a workout today. So notice your shoulders, relax them, lift those shoulders up and back, circling backwards, and focus on some deeper breaths. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. All right, so we want our shoulders to relax, and especially if you have a lot that you're thinking about, maybe your to-do list is quite long, I encourage you to be present. All right, let's do 3, and 2, and 1. Good. From here, facing that chair, let's tap that leg back. So tapping the toe, extend that leg as far as you can, and think about squeezing the glutes. So you can hold on to that chair for balance, option 1. Or option 2, we're going to be adding the arms. So same arm, same leg. Try to keep those shoulders back. Good. Extending that arm and leg. Noticing the back of the leg working.
And then option number 3 is to add a lift. So we can lean forward slightly as you lift. Now I've automatically changed my arms and legs, so I'm doing an opposite arm, opposite leg. I encourage you to do the same because you'll feel more balanced. All right, good. So this is a really good stretch. Really think about lengthening through the spine, reaching, lengthening that leg, rising up tall. Let's do another 3 and 2 and 1. All right, looks good. From here, we're going to add a toe tap, reaching with the opposite arm. And from here, we're going to be alternating with a kick. So once again, you can use that chair for balance, but follow along. We'll do a tap, tap, kick, kick, tap, tap, kick, kick. So really think about reaching with the arms, opposite arm, opposite leg, alternating from the tap to the kick. So if you have stiff legs, maybe you have arthritis in your legs, then this is a really good one to really stretch everything out. And I was mentioning coordination a bit earlier. This is really helpful if you are worried about falling. So we want to get our body coordinated so we can prevent falls from happening. All right, let's do another one. Tap and then lift. Awesome work. All right. So we're going to be moving to those arms, back to our side step, and reach those arms up overhead. So if you're doing any decorating in your home, we want to really get those shoulders working, lubricate those joints. Good. So reaching up. And if you have your shoulders that are talking to you, maybe you don't want to lift quite as high, that's fine. Really work within your limits. All right, good. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Good. All right, from here, let's bring one leg right in front of the other. And we're going to be lifting your back heel, lift the front toe. We're going to be swinging those arms. So reaching in front, lift the heel, reach back, lift the toes. Breathing in and breathing out. And this is a really good way to bring some movement into the legs right away. You'll notice if you're feeling a bit stiff. Option 1 is to stay upright, keep your spine straight. Option 2, hinge from your hips. Really lift that leg, lift that front toe. Keeping the front leg nice and straight as you shift and reach behind you. Good. So the back of our legs tend to be quite stiff. Also our back as well. So this is a really good way. If you are doing housework, stretch it out. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Now we'll do the other side because we all have one side that really needs it. Switch legs, starting with the first option, lifting the toes, lifting the heels. So just notice which side is a little more stiff for you. And you'll notice my feet aren't right in front of the other. We want to have a little bit of space so that you can really shift your weight from one leg to the other. All right, option 2, hinging from the hips. Reach back, breathing in, breathing out. Good. Oh, this one feels so good. So good for the back of those legs. Really notice hamstring and in the calf. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. All right, excellent work. Let's grab those weights. If you have some water, have a sip of water as well. Now, if you don't have weights, you can always use canned goods or even a water bottle can work too. All right, so we're going to continue to keep moving. As we step to the side, I want you to lift your weight. So bending from the elbow, elbows are nice and wide. Make sure your wrist is straight and lift right up towards that armpit. Breathing in, breathing out. Stepping side to side. Good. And so as you step, do a light tap. Tap with that toe. Most of that weight is over that other leg. Good. Let's do a few more here. Looks good. Let's do 3. This is a great one to strengthen up those shoulders. If you're lifting heavy boxes, moving things around, doing some decluttering, this is good. It's good to have that strength that we need. All right, very good. Now the next one we're going to do is our bicep curl. So I want you to stand tall, shoulders back, engage the core, bending the knees slightly, lifting your weight one at a time right up towards that shoulder. So curling up and lowering down. Breathing in and out. So just a reminder, these exercises with the weights can be done right in front of a screen. So maybe you're on another webinar in the future. You lift your weights. You can do some movements while you're still paying attention or while you're watching your favorite Christmas show. All right, now we're going to add to this. When we're busy, it's helpful to add multiple things in together for a full body workout. So we're going to do both arms together, curling both weights up. Have those arms still at your side. Lift your heels for a heel raise. Both weights up. Standing tall, heel raise. Alternating arms and legs. Now this is another exercise combo that you can do as a sync exercise. So I have a few clients who leave their weights in their kitchens or in their living rooms because that's where they spend their time. So it is so good to leave your weights where you'll see them because that's when we'll use them. If they're tucked into the back of that closet, they'll get covered in dust before you know it. All right, let's do 2 more. Good job. Notice the front of the arms working, back the legs. Last one. All right, good. So let's grab that chair, have a seat. We're going to do a few seated exercises because we do spend a lot of time sitting. So it's good to have a few ideas of what we can do when we're sitting down. All right, so I encourage you to sit near the middle or edge of your chair so you have some space behind you. And we're going to be working on our shoulder strength. So alternate arms. We're going to be pressing one arm and then the other. And then pause here and add the legs. Lifting one knee, lifting the other knee, and then back to the arms. All right, good. So this is one you can do when you're sitting. If you don't have weights handy, you can do the movement still without the weights. Good. Good to keep our bodies moving. Now, if you're a regular exerciser, I don't need to convince you. You know that when you move, you feel so much better. But maybe you haven't quite realized that yet. Maybe you're telling yourself, you know what, this is the year. This is the year for me. So I encourage you to do that. All right, working on coordination. We're going to be continuing with the opposite arm, opposite knee. All right, opposite arm, opposite knee. Switching sides. And you don't have to lift your knee too high. Really listen to your body. Do what you can, but keep that back straight. Keep breathing. Okay, 2 more. And 1. All right, awesome work. Let's lower the weights. Circle the shoulders back. Good. All right, so another focus as we sit is to focus on some core strength. So continue to be near that edge of the chair and then recline back against your chair. We're going to be using our weights for some core work. So we're going to reach for the opposite knee. So start with one weight. We reach right across, bring it to that opposite knee, and then return your weight over top of your shoulder. So we're going to be alternating one side to the other side. Breathing in. As one shoulder is touching the back of your chair, the other shoulder is lifting away as you reach right across. All right, good. So you'll feel those legs working. Our upper body is working with those weights. and tighten up your core. So you should feel some tightening happening, just like you're doing up a pair of tight pants. Do a few more. 3. And 2. And 1. All right, excellent. We've got one more for you. Let's lower one of your weights to the floor. And we're going to be working our back and our shoulder by leaning over. So shift over, keep that back nice and straight, and bring your arm right across your leg, arm straight with that weight. And then I want you to lift. So just like you're lifting up something from the floor, and then lowering that weight back down, bending the elbow, straightening the arm. All right, so a lot of what we do around this time of year does require a strong back. So this is one of my favorites to strengthen up the back. All right, awesome. Really think about lifting that elbow nice and high, slowly lowering, squeezing the shoulder blade back. Good, let's do another few. Last 3. And 2. And 1. Good. All right, let's change hands and circle the elbow back. Stretch that out. Good work. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but changing arms. So move on to the other side of that chair. Give yourself a bit of space. Leaning over, arm is straight, and then bend that elbow to lift. For this one, I like to look down towards the floor because that really relaxes the neck well. Think of it squeezing that shoulder blade back and lowering the arm. Breathing in as you lower, breathe out and lift. And you might have one side that is a little stronger than the other. We all tend to have a dominant side, especially the upper body. Good. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1. All right, good. Come on up. Change that weight to the other side, and let's circle this arm backwards. All right, excellent. That's such a nice way to end. Let's lower your second weight to the floor, and then let's do this with both arms. Lift those elbows up nice and high, straightening up that back. Good. Noticing how you're feeling compared to when we started. So this was a quick express workout, 15 minutes. And as you remember, our goal is to get 30 minutes of movement in every day. So you're halfway there. You're halfway there. Good. Let's keep those elbows bent, arms back, and bring those hands and elbows in. So open up the chest, squeezing back, and then hands and elbows in. Inhale and exhale. And just remember that exercise can help physically. It also can help mentally. So do remember, keep this in mind. My tips for you, focusing on moving more, eating with intention, and focusing on kindness and grace. Let's do 2 more here. And 1 more. Good. And then give yourself a hug. Excellent job. Excellent job. So we're almost done. I have a few more slides we'll go over. So pull up your chair, come join me in front of your screen again. All right, and if you've got that water, have another sip of water. All right, so what are your next steps? What is your plan to put yourself first this winter? I would love to help you move more, have more energy for all the things you need to do, and to stay motivated and moving, not just as New Year's is coming, but all year long. All right, next slide. Yeah, thanks. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about the AIM Fitness Online membership. So this is a program that I started during COVID. So we're now 4 years into it. And what it looks like is every week I send an email with exercise and nutrition videos to my members. And you have access to a lot when you become a member. You have access to over 200 exercise videos and 30 nutrition videos, all catering to adults 50 plus. And the simple part of this is I've put it together a really simple plan. So I send out weekly pre-planned calendars. So it has your workouts for the week. It's all labeled by day. So you can just click on the video of the day and follow along. So you don't have to guess or think about what am I going to do today? I've done all of that work for you. We have accountability and we have a social side. So we have monthly Zoom meetings to get to know other members. I bring on guest speakers and we also get together. So just yesterday we had our in-person Christmas lunch and we had a large group of people all together. And it was so much fun because a lot of us see each other on Zoom. So we often just see, our head to our shoulders. That's about it. So it was fun to share a meal together and get to know each other. And then there's lots of resources that I include. So I send out calendars and worksheets, fun images. This helps people stay motivated and it keeps them going. And I wanted to share just a few wins from yesterday because we went around the circle and we had a lot of people who said, you know what, I've been exercising now consistently for a number of years. This had never been the case before. And one woman in particular, she recently had a knee replacement done, and her doctor was really impressed with how quickly she's bounced back. She said, well, it's thanks to Meg and the AIM program that I strengthened my knee before the surgery. But she's recently gone from 5 pounds up to 8-pound weights. And that was a huge improvement for her as she has had to really push herself to improve that strength. And then there's another woman who was there too, who was saying how she loves to exercise now. She didn't used to enjoy it, but now she's become more consistent because she likes that the workouts are short. They're between 15 and 20 minutes. So she likes that she can fit them into her day, and now she doesn't like to miss a day. So I did want to share some of these wins and also let you know that as NAFR members, you save 33% on the membership. So it's a really considerable savings. And we have options for 3, 6, or 12 months if you'd like to join us and want to become a member. Now, if you'd like to chat about your health, I'd love to chat with you as well. So I am offering NAFR members a 15-minute complimentary health consultation. So this is to chat about your health goals, what you're doing right now, what you're hoping to achieve, what do you want to be focusing on in this next year. Maybe you have recently improved and you want to keep going. So I'd love to chat with you too if you consider yourself to be a bit more advanced. And at AIM Fitness, we help adults 50 plus live their best lives by building strength and mobility at home. So this is our specialty. We've been doing this for over 11 years now in the Ottawa area, and our goal is to help more and more people. So if you know somebody who could benefit with an in-home personal trainer, if you know someone who could benefit who's out of town but could easily join one of our online programs, we would really love to help them as well. So thank you. So if you have any questions, feel free to send an email to info@activitiesinmotion.ca. You can also visit my website where you can learn more about the membership and more about our programs. And we would just love to connect with you. So remember, my AIM Fitness channel on YouTube has many, many exercise videos if you're just looking for something short and you want to focus on your health over the Christmas season. All right, so if anyone does have any questions that you want me to tackle now while we are live, feel free to drop them in the chat. And if not, if you have something more personal you want to ask, feel free to reach out to me directly by email. But I hope this has been really helpful for you. As I said, it is possible to improve ourselves mentally, physically during the holiday season. So I really do encourage you to really think about those little tips that I gave you. Take 1 or 2 and start to implement them this week.
Thank you, Meg. That was wonderful. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat right now. So I think we're okay to proceed with finishing up the webinar. So thank you everyone for your participation in today's webinar. And again, a big thank you to Meg for a great fitness session and for helping us get ready for the holidays. I will be sending out a follow-up email later this afternoon, and that'll contain the recording for today's session if you want to watch it over, and it'll contain all the contact information for AIM Fitness that Meg mentioned. And remember that you can invite non-members to attend these webinars and try us out as a guest. And to register for any upcoming webinars, please visit the Ottawa branch website at nafrottawa.com. Okay, thank you everyone, and we hope to see you at our next webinar. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.